Hello everyone, welcome to our weekly Wellness Wednesday live here on Planet Wellness. Please say hello if you're here, and it's hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. So we have another health benefit of a vegetable to share with you today, so I'll hand you over to Ronald.
Hi everyone, I've got something that's going to really help you a lot. BAGE. Now, why is the cabbage so important? First of all, there's different colors. You got the green cabbage, you got a white cabbage, you've got a purple cabbage, and I believe in certain countries you've got like a reddish type cabbage as well, right? Now, the cabbage is a very unique vegetable because it belongs to what I call the Brassica family, or cruciferous vegetables, okay? Now, cruciferous comes from the word crucifix, which means it's like a cross, okay, like that, crucifix. So the members of that family, now furthermore, the Brassica family is also a member of the sulfur family, like garlic, onions, chives, and so on, and shallots. They're a member of the sulfur family. The sulfur family is very, very good in conjunction with the Brassica family or the cruciferous vegetables family because they promote disinfection in your body. So if you got inflammation in your body, from the French enflammé, enflammé means flame internally. In other words, you've got heated, your body's heated inside, inflamed, and then that causes discomfort of the entire body. Right? So when you eat foods like the Brassica family, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and so on, it will give you enormous relief of inner inflammation. All right? Now, one of the big problems that I see in 40 years of practice is that a lot of people do not understand the value of this Brassica or cruciferous type vegetables, right? Now, what are the benefits of, say, cabbage, right? The benefit, if the cabbage is well grown, it will have things like potassium, manganese, protein, fiber, and many other. Manganese is another one. Manganese in cabbage, for example, manganese is it's quite rare to find these days. Manganese is a trace mineral, and that manganese is actually excellent for hay fever. So if you suffer from hay fever, eat plenty of cabbage, because the manganese level will lift up against the immune system, and then your hay fever will be a lot more alleviated or even cured completely, right? Now, so we've got all these. Now, the other thing that the cabbage is good for is it releases inflammation on the heart or blood pressure. It's very good for the immune system, right? It's good for actually making you sleep better because it calms you down. And there's another 3 or 4 other benefits that it has, which to do with the blood pressure, as I said before, and also with the actual reduction of all types of inner and external inflammation. Now, I'll tell you an amazing story. About probably 30 years ago, I already knew about the cabbage industry or cabbage capacity, what it could do for the horse industry. And there was this particular horse, it was a racehorse in Adelaide, South Australia, and they were going to put him down because his knees or fetlocks were gone, right? We really saw he could hardly walk, right? And so they wanted the vet to just put him to sleep, right? Like, in other words, inject the poison and bang, gone. I said, no, let's give it a shot. So I got some cabbage, and I peeled the leaves off the cabbage, and I said, let's rub that around his knee. Right, around the fetlock, okay, the knee of the horse, right? Wrapped it up, on both knees, wrapped it up. And the amazing part, we did that for 2 or 3 nights, and during the day, ward as well. By the third day, the horse was back to normal, you know? And the vet couldn't believe it. He could not believe it. He said, I've never seen anybody put cabbage leaves around the fetlock or the knees of the horse, and the horse was walking, and he's a very expensive racehorse. They didn't have to put him down, right? And a vet, I'd never seen that before. Now, as a result of that, guess what happened next? A lot of hospital in Adelaide started putting cabbage leaves into the breast of people, the breast of women who had problems and inflammation in their breasts from overfeeding or teats feeding the wrong way, right? So putting cabbage leaves on their breast, and that would release the pressure, the inflammation in the breast, and that worked. And even today, there's hospitals are using that as a relief for people who've got inflamed breasts, all right? Now, what else is important with cabbage? Now, I will tell you about 94 to 95% of patients, over 40,000 patients we've seen since the age of 20, guess what? I'd say all of those people have some form of constipation, right? Now, you might think, well, what the hell is constipation? Well, let me give you an example. I did an Australian lady, I saw this Australian lady in Hong Kong. I worked there for a while in Hong Kong. And the woman was fooling her husband. She was going to the toilet every day, but she actually was not passing any stool out. She wasn't passing any stool. And the husband said, oh, she's very healthy, goes to the toilet every day. She was actually constipated. She was constipated. And when she saw me privately, after the husband was gone, all right, guess what? She told me she was having 3 big meals in Hong Kong, 3 big meals per day for 4 days to 5 days. And on the 5th day or 6th day, she was actually passing out rabbit pellets out of her backside. Rabbit pellets, in other words, very small. So she was eating 3 meals, solid meals, every day. And so that's 12 to 15 meals in that time period. And on the 5th day or 6th day, guess what? Rabbit pellets. In other words, she was constipated. So what does that actually mean? It means that you're eating all this food, for example, meat, fish, chicken, rice, whatever, and it's actually staying inside your digestive system. It's staying. In other words, it becomes waste, right? Now, one of the factors that plays up with a lot of people, they can't digest meat, red meat, or they can't do it fast enough. Now, we've done 40 years of work on this. We know we're right. When you eat a lot of red meat, right, like for example, every day you eat red meat, guess what? After about 92 hours of eating red meat, that's when it comes out of you. So if you're eating red meat every day, you are constipated, right? So you must be very, very clever that you eat red meat maybe once a week or once a fortnight. I've got nothing against red meat, right? Nothing, except that you should not be eating it every day. Unless you're a very hard worker, like a lumber worker, a bricklayer, a labourer, hard labourer, then you can probably get away with eating meat maybe 3 times a week. But even that is too much. You should be eating red meat at the most once a week or once a fortnight. You don't need that much red meat. You should be concentrating on white meat like chicken, turkey, right? Things like salmon, sardines, goat cheese. There's a lot of alternate eggs, of course, and preferably organic or free range, right? So don't go down the trap of eating a lot of red meat. You can buy a lot of red meat and use it, but the reality of it is only 24% of the red meat, 24% only will be turned to muscle. Now, get this now. Listen to this very carefully. You can buy, like say, half a kilo of Angus beef for about 10 pounds. 10 pounds, right? And it's prime beef, 10 pounds. When you eat that meat, if you're not got an excellent digestion, only 24% of that meat will turn to muscle. 24%, that's all. So you're spending all this money, 24% utilized to turn into muscle. Not much good. Now, an egg, on the other hand, if you do it the way I teach you to cook it, when you take the egg and you cook it the way I teach you, guess what? 88% of that egg, organic egg, free range, 88% turns to muscle. And the egg might cost you £3 for 12. What a bargain. So don't go down the road of eating so much meat because you think it's going to give you bodybuilding status. It will not. All right? Concentrate on the eggs. Now, so I'm going to give you now, as a final comment, I'm going to give you a tremendous recipe that you can use if you're constipated. Okay? You remember what I said about constipation. Now, so if you're not going to the toilet at least once a day, you're constipated. All right? So I'll give you the formula. Now you've got to juice this. So we use a NutriBullet, but you could use a Magimix, you could use a Champion, you could use what I call a Sauna Macerator, okay? But at the end of the day, you've got to juice this. So we personally like the NutriBullet. It's a very good product, powerful motor, powerful blades. Now, what you do is this. You put about half a liter of coconut water. Get that? First, half a liter of coconut water. Now, you can buy coconut water for about £1.59 at Lidl, for example. A bit more expensive at other supermarket, but I go to Lidl to get my coconut water.
Or if you're in Asia countries, then it's going to be a lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper. Like, good point. In Malaysia, you can pick
4 ringgit.
4 ringgit,
a fresh coconut,
which is about 80 pence. 80 pence, and it's fresh coconut. So, but nevertheless, if you're in England, get a liter of coconut water at Lidl for £1.59. Okay. Now, remember, you use only half a liter of that in the let's say the blender. Okay, and then you put your quarter of a cabbage. In other words, you can peel the cabbage. That's the best way. Peel the cabbage, 1/4 of it. That's all. So if you get a good sized cabbage, 1/4 goes in, and chop it up a bit so the blender can blend faster.
Are we talking about green or a purple cabbage?
Good point.
Yeah.
Now you can use green cabbage one day. You can use purple cabbage another day, which is a good way to do it. So the purple cabbage, in my view, which is very extensive, in my view, the purple cabbage has got far more beta carotene, and also it helps the macula in the back of the eye, right? But you could use, to get the best of both worlds, use 1/4 of a red cabbage or purple cabbage today in that half liter of coconut milk or water, okay? Then you've got the cabbage in there, correct? Like 1/4 of it. Now you can use a sharp knife and cut off 1/4 of it, but then you have to wrap it up in some Glad wrap, put it back in the fridge, okay? Otherwise it will oxidate. Don't put it back on the shelf, put it in the fridge. So you got so far you've got coconut water, 1/4 of a cabbage. Now guess what you add to it? 3 apples. You have 3 apples, put in, chopped up. Use 5 carrots.
And these are red apples, aren't they?
These are red apples. 5 carrots with the tops in. In other words, you go to a farm shop, you get the carrots with the leaves. Washed, of course, put that in. Guess what else? 3 stalks. 3 stalks of organic celery. Must be organic. 3 stalks. Now you cut them up, put them in. So what have you got so far? Coconut water, red cabbage, 1/4 of a red cabbage, carrots with a top on, 3 stalks of celery, and 3 apples. Okay. Now, if you don't put on so much, you can take the 3 apples out. But definitely, you must have the cabbage, you must have the coconut water, and you must have the organic celery, 3 stalks, and
the apples.
The apples,
yeah.
right?
And the apples and the carrots will be with the skin on.
That's right. That's a good point. Now, don't peel it, because if you peel it, you're reducing the nutrient content to nothing, right? You must have the apples washed, so everything's clean. Now, once you blend all that, and you can drink that for over, say, you drink half of it like straight away, then put the rest in the fridge, and about 3 or 4 hours later, take the other out. So in other words, in one day, you've taken a whole container of that juice, okay? Now, you do that every single day for 3 months. I guarantee you will lose about 4 inches off your waist. 4 inches. That's what I call visceral fat. That is the dangerous fat. So around your belly button, you will lose, if you measure your belt, put a notch on it, in about 3 months, doing this drink every single day, you will lose 4 inches. Now, that is a phenomenal amount of fat that you reduce. And you're going to feel wonderful. Guess what else? You're going to have great skin. Because when you clean your bowels out, your skin improves out of sight. Now, look at Petrina. Petrina's skin, no makeup, no lipstick, no foundation, nothing. Just guess what? Food. Quality food that we've just explained. Petrina's 53, looks like 35. All right? I've just turned 75, and most people say I'm 50 to 55. That's what I look like, 50, 55. Look at her skin, glowing. Look at my skin, glowing, because what we recommend, we use. We don't talk rubbish. We give you what we take because it works, right? So my strong advice to you, every week you listen to us, we'll give you tip after tip after tip worth millions of pounds to you, because your health is your wealth, okay? Thank you for listening.
Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please give us a heart, a like, or care, or wow emoji.
Yes.
And also tag your friends.
Yeah.
Share this video with anyone who may find this video useful. If you're watching it on YouTube as well, do give us a like on the channel. And also comment and share what your favorite cabbage recipe is, apart
Yes.
from the one we've shared.
Yes. We'd love to hear your feedback.
Of course, yeah.
We'd love to hear your feedback, how you get on with it.
That's right. And yeah, someone's actually asked us earlier on this video as well,
Yeah.
when we were sharing it on the radio station this morning.
This morning, yeah.
Whether this recipe is applicable to even children, and the answer is
Yes.
actually yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So everyone can actually enjoy this recipe as well.
Of course, if you're doing say something below 10, say an age of below 10, instead of doing a full recipe, you would probably maybe half of it, or say 1/3 of it, right? So because kids can't drink as much liquid as an adult can. So, but for an adult dose, is what we explained before, for say somebody from say 14 down, I'd say half the recipe. If they're young, I'd say 3 years of age, but say maybe 1/5 the recipe, right? And because even kids at 3 years old can be constipated. So you're very welcome, but again, you use your intelligence and you cater for the size of the kid compared to what you give them by way of liquids. All right, make sense?
Okay, so have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next week.
Yes,
Take care.
looking forward to it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.